I think I'm live. Namaskar. Welcome everyone. This is part 4 of Learn the Bengali alphabet. I recently learned it's called alphabet, not alphabets. So let's learn the alphabet. Let's learn the letters. Today I'm going to start with showing you how to write the letters beautifully in a ruled sheet on the line. And I have been using a blank paper to write everything. So today I'll show you a little more structure of the actual anatomy of the letters. So let's see. I have some lines on this. I'm going to write one of the words that we learned in the last lesson. Let's say tak. So usually if you have a ruled sheet, you will have the top line of the page and the line next to that, so you can start wherever. Usually there will be a margin on the side. So if I'm writing tak, I'll go like this. Is it in focus? Okay. Toyakar. Okay, closer. Ko. That's tak. Let's say I have to write dada. Dayakar. Dayakar. Dada. Ata. A. Ta. If we have Rasho Ikar in the word, so right now if I have to write dik, I'll put matra, Rasho Ikar will come here. So as you can see, it is going into the line above it. So that is fine, that is how it is. In English, if you write Y or G, the loop downwards goes to the line down, right? So this is the same. It can go to the upper line, that's fine. So that's dik. And if you have to write doi, for example, where you have the rasho e in the spelling, so you write da, and while you write the rasho e, this loop is coming here. That's okay. So depending on your handwriting, you might be going a little smaller as well. As you practice, you'll find your own flow. So usually in my handwriting, this is the size I write in. So if I'm writing ata below this, oops, and then if I'm writing doi below this, it looks much neater, even with this curly line coming up. And if I'm writing dada here, and then I have to write dik here, then this rasho e is not making much difference in terms of how crowded it is. But if it's bigger, that might be a problem. When children write in Bangla and when they're learning in school, sometimes in the beginning they will leave one line gap and they'll write in this line and leave this one and write in this one. Sometimes there are some specifically ruled sheets which are very conducive for writing this one. So this is a single rule. Sometimes we have a double rule, which is very good for learning Bangla letters. Okay, let me write another. There's a space here. How about Tai? Tayakar. Shoi. Tai. So if I write Tai smaller, so this is how it's going to look on a ruled paper. Now, if you're writing faster and you have a more flow to your writing, So sometimes the matra will look a little more fluid. So if I'm writing tak, let me write it here to the right. If I'm writing fast and I have a certain handwriting, that it may look like I'm writing it real slow. That might be how I write tak. Let me show you atta. So as you can see, there's a little bit of fluidity to the lines and a little bit of curls and continuation to the strokes. So let me write atta here. So matra, a, and here I might go down and continue with the matra and continue with the loop and finish the ta at the same time. Then come up and put the akar. So in a running handwriting, this might happen. Let's try do in the same way. Put the matra, write the da, and along with the matra, I might write the rashoi and then complete the matra on the end. So depending on your handwriting, there are many options. So that's how it is. Let me show you how to see if the letters are looking good. And yesterday I showed that one of the cause was not really good, and I said I'll show you how to write it beautifully. So let me use this grid. Each letter in Bangla has, imagine it in the middle of a square. So each letter has its own square and it's written inside of that square. Each one has its own square. Just imagine a square and ta is written within that, e is written within that. So it's like a box. It's like a series of boxes and we write within them. So let me show you what I meant when I said the ka should be more symmetric and beautiful. So let's say this is the matra. This is the invisible box that we have for ka. So you will start at the middle. When you start writing the ka, you start at the middle of that box that we're talking about. And then we go down to the middle of the left of that invisible box. Okay. Now you go there. In the next stroke, you come down mid of the bottom. And in the next stroke, you join it to the top. So far, it's symmetric to the left of the square. To the right of this, you start from the starting point and the loop will end at level with this left corner. So this is when the letter looks beautiful and symmetric. So it's kind of like a diamond and it touches all 4 points. Even when it's a circular letter like this, it's going to follow the same grid here. So let me write ta. You write a matra. You start the loop from kind of the center, little below. You go up and then you distribute this round in this box. It's not too narrow, it's not too fat, it's not too squished from the bottom, it's not too elongated. So you distribute it like a snail within this box. So when you write each letter, just have this visual in mind that each borno have this structure to itself. So let me write da now. Da, you will not be starting at the center. The entire letter should be at the center, like this. So you'll start a little to the left, go up, come down. So as you can see, this is like the center of the square. And we started a little left to that, so that when we're coming right and coming down, the entire letter is placed at the center of the invisible box. So this distance and this distance are more or less the same. This is when the letter looks very balanced. and beautiful. And if you have kar chino, then they come to the edge of that box that we're talking about. So if you have akar, you place it here. If you have rasha ikar, you write it here. And even with rasha I, the letter that the ikar is placed on should be completely included under the ikar, like this. So do not make it too small, do not make it too big and extended to this side, because there are other letters here in the word. So this is how it looks, proper and beautiful. Shall we try one more? Let me write E here. So you keep the matra, and we will start at the center. So when I say center, it's the center of the matra and also the center of this invisible box structure that you have in mind. So you start at the center, make a loop, go up. So when you come down, it's like the number 2 when you write 2. Okay. And when you come, you don't go beyond this point. Then the letter looks a little unbalanced if you do so. So if you come until here, then the symmetry is maintained. And then you go down like this. And here as well, do not extend past this level. You can a little bit, that's fine. But if you go too much, then it's not going to look good. And when you start the curl on top, it will be kind of here in this level, and you start and you end it on this side. Okay. So obviously when you're writing, you may write in a flow and not really be so mathematical with the measurements. That's not the point anyway. Like here when I was writing, it's not like it's very strictly maintained, you know, all the levels and everything, but in a way, like visually you can see. Let me use another color. So these are kind of like the two squares that we had, right? And here I started from the center, I went not beyond this level, and then I went here, kind of this level, and I started the curl on top from this level, and then I ended it here. So this maintains the beauty and, you know, the symmetry of the letters when you write them. So just have these boxes in mind, and try writing them within this. Let's say you have to write A. I'm going to write A here. Then the whole thing, you will try to write it within this square. So you start here, you go up, that's A. So the entire letter is contained in this square symmetry. So that's all about writing the letters. Hope this was helpful. I really wanted to show this. My handwriting is not so straight and stiff like I wrote on the right side. It's a little bit curled or curved, and that happens. It's kind of like cursive in English. When you write in a running handwriting, things may look a little different. And in print, in the keyboards of devices and the printed letter, there might be some differences in the thickness of the lines and how things are, but I think with practice you can recognize the fonts as well and be able to identify which letter is which. So today we're going to do some new letters. Let me turn the page. Okay, so we'll do some new Vyanjan Varna and words. Let's begin. All right, I'm going to position this. Great. So today's Vyanjan Varna is. Today I feel like doing this one, very cute one. Let me write a word first. So see how much you can recognize. Not using the colors here. That's Dayakar. That's ta. And that is what we're talking about today. This is dat. It means teeth. And let's talk about this. What is this? That is called a Chandra bindu. It's one word. Chandra bindu. It's one word in two parts. Chandra means moon and bindu means dot. So this refers to how it looks. So let's talk about Chandra bindu. This word that I wrote, dat, which means teeth, if I said it without the Chandra bindu, if the spelling just had da akar, ta, then I would be saying it as dat, dat. Da and ta, I hope by now you know what the difference is in pronunciation. Dat. Now that I have Chandra bindu on top of that, it has a specific function. See if you can hear it in how I'm saying it. So without Chandra bindu, it would be dat. With Chandra bindu, it will be dat. What Chandra bindu does is add a nasal pronunciation to the word dat, dat. So the on which the Chandra bindu is sitting will be pronounced now nasally through your nose. So it will have a little nose to it. When you hold your nose and you talk, you have a nasal expression, right? And when you have a cold and you talk, think of it in that way if you don't know what a nasal pronunciation is. So the sound is going to come through your nose. The air is going to come through your nose as well. You don't have to blow out of your nose, but you'll involve your nose in the pronunciation, like that, that part, which is coming from your nose, that. So we have da, we have akar, which is making it da, and then we have the Chandra bindu, which is making it da, da, and then ta. So dat means teeth. So Chandra bindu is one of the Banjan Varna. In the list of Banjan Varna, it's the very last one, Chandra bindu. Chandra bindu. So Chandra is the word for moon, bindu is a dot. Chandra is moon, but we also say chand for moon, chand. So chand also has that Chandra bindu in its spelling, chand, chand. If you're familiar with Bengali, Hindi, or any other languages, Urdu, that have a similar word for moon, you may have seen it spelt with, in English, C-H-A-N-D or C-H-A-A-N-D. So that N is the Chandra bindu. It's not really Chand with the N, it's Chand, Chand. I guess in poetry and songs you can say Chand with an N, but that N in English is the depiction of this Chandra bindu in Bengali and other languages that have this letter in them. I'm trying to think of some other words that maybe the global audience is familiar with that has Chandra bindu in it. I'll see if I remember, I'll mention it. For now, let's move on from this word. So that's Chandra bindu. It is a Banjan Varna also. Next Banjan Varna we have today is, today I don't feel like colors, so let's use blue. It'll be a good practice to see if you can identify what is a matra and all the other components that I was distinguishing with colors. So next Banjan Varna is na, na. This is a na. It's a na, na. All Banjan Varna, like I said earlier, are pronounced with the a at the end. So na, da, ta. Interestingly, ta, da, na. All of these are pronounced from your teeth. So your tongue is touching your teeth when you're pronouncing them. So na is another one in the list. Na, na. Very simple, na sound. So let me write the word that I think everybody can read. Extremely easy. Oh. Okay, this means no. Who can read this? It's extremely easy. So this is nai akar, na, na, which means no in Bangla. Na, na. And this na, I think by now you can understand, you have an idea that different letters in our alphabet are pronounced from different parts of the mouth. Like we had ka, which is from the throat, right? Ka, ka. The, ta, and na are from the teeth. So there are other types of letters. Let's say another na, for example, which is similar to na, but it does not come from the teeth. So to distinguish between them, we have names so that we know which na we are talking about. Just like in E, we had Rasha E, so we know we're talking about the short E because we also have a longer E sound. Similarly, this na, to distinguish itself from the other similar one that we may be getting confused with, we have this name, Danto no. Danto no. Danto means of the teeth. So literally this means the na of the teeth from the dant. Because this is pronounced by touching your teeth with your tongue. So danto no is what it is called. So you can spell it like when you're reading this spelling, you can say dantonae akar. Dantonae akar. This a means on or in. So dantonae akar means akar on dantona. So dantonae akar na. This is the word na. Let's try another word. There's so many possibilities. No. E. Noi. Noi. Noi means I'm not. For example, if you want to say, this is the only example coming to my mind, but if you want to say, I'm not your friend, friend is bondhu, bondhu. So I'm not is noi, and ami is I, your friend, tomar bondhu. So you will say, ami tomar bondhu noi. Ami tomar bondhu noi. So literally it is I, your friend, am not. Ami tomar bondhu noi. So that noi is this word. I'm not. Ami tomar bondhu noi. That's the only thing that came to my mind. So that's noi. If I add one akar to this na and then I write the same thing. What is this? Nai. Nai. Nai means is not there or is not present. Depending on which region in Bengal you're from, you may be saying this as nei, either nai or nei, but they both mean the same. So that means it's not there or it's not present. So let's say you do not have a passport or driving license. Amar driving license nai. And some people in some regions say nei. So you can say nei or nai. We have learned akar, so we are saying nai. Okay, if we put ikar on this, so this is dantonai rashoi and rashoi. What happens? We did a similar word di in the past. This is ni. So di, if you remember, who remembers what di means? Di meant I give. Ni means I take. Like I take the daily newspaper every morning, or I take this medicine, or I take something that you do in general, you take in general or on a regular basis. This is ni. So this has both the Rosho Ikar and the Rosho I in the spelling. So it's ni e. Ni. When you say it, when you say the entire word, because this is one word, you're not going to give any break in the pronunciation. So you will not say ni e. That will sound weird. It's ni, ni. It will flow. Like the E from here will flow into this E in the pronunciation. So ni, ni. Next word with na. Let's do it here. Dontonoi akar. Ko. What is this? This means nose. If you know the word already. Nak, nak, nak. Nak means nose. Let's do a word where na is not in the beginning. Okay. What is this word? Dayakar, donton no. Dan. This means giving or charity. Dan. If you remember the word data that we did before in the beginning, data is someone who does dan. I'm just giving a general meaning of this. These are very beautiful words. And if you add one akar to the no here, that becomes dana, which means grain or particle. Dana. Okay. Now, read this. This means day. Din. Doi, ikar, and na. Din. Let me show you a very common mistake. Let's say I asked you to write din. What you may end up writing, is it visible? What you may end up writing is this what you were thinking? Be honest. So this is incorrect. The Rasho Ikar, the letter it is on, meaning this is like an umbrella, right? The letter it is protecting from the rain. That letter, that Panjan Barno, will take on its sound. So what you did end up writing is the ni. Okay. If you want din, e should come on the. Din. Din. And remember, it's a short e, so it's not din, it's din. Din. So it's not the, it's di. Short e. Rasho e. That was its name, and that's how it sounds. So do not write it this way. Next word. I hope you're able to read on your own and it's just not me who's saying all these things by myself. So next word is rhyming with din. This means 3. So if you know your Bangla numbers, 3 is teen. Teen. So toy, rashoi, and now teen. Teen. Okay, this is nak, nose. Let's do another word which is very, very close. What I meant by close is that this is noi akar ko and this is koi akar na. So you flip the letters. So that's what I meant. This means year. It's kan, kan, kan. Okay, let's do some more. Now that we know na, there's so many more things we can do. So let's do them. Nak, kan. Now, how about you see, that's not a pretty ka. They should have gone a little more down and maintained the symmetry, but it happens sometimes. Nick, that's what this is. Nick. Nick means, if you remember last day we did the word dik, which means let him give or let her give. This is let him take. Nick. Like, she Nick, let him take. That's fine. Nick. Let's incorporate a Shora Varno in a word. Visible? Yes. This word is going to test whether you understood what line is what without colors, because there's a lot of lines here. This is a. This entire thing is a. Yes. Let's say you got confused and you thought it was a. And where's my, here it is. So let's say you got confused and you thought this is just a. Yeah. And you thought this line was part of something else. So there is nothing else. There is nothing else. There's nothing else this line can be. So now you know this entire thing is a, and it's not just a on a random line. It's a. So now you know. And then this is very easy. The next part is just Dantanai Rasho E. So what's this word? This word is ani. That means I bring. Ami ani would mean I bring. So you would need to use ami for that. Ami ani. Okay. If you come back to this, here. Tin din. That means 3 days. If you count your days, ek din, dui din, tin din means 3 days. Okay. We did nak. Now let's do what is this? Naki. Naki means is it. It's a part of a phrase when you want to say is it not or is that so. Remember we learned tai before, so if you say tai naki together, that means is it so? Is that it? So tai means that and naki means is it. This is the word that questions the possibility of it or not. This is that word which indicates that. So naki. Here again, you have a similar thing going on. You have na, the line of na, then you have akar here, and then immediately next to that you have the line for the ikar on ka. So there are 3 lines happening here, but if you just pay attention, you'll see which one is which, and this is naki. When you just had nak, it was just na and akar. Now you have all this, so you need to pay a little more attention. Let's do When there are Shoro Borno in words, just remember what each Borno is supposed to sound like. This is ni. So do not confuse yourself by thinking that maybe it's na, e. No. Yes, e, like I said, na is under the e. So it becomes ni, and this is a. So ani. Next word is this means grandson. So nai akar and toy ikar. Nati. Nati. Here's your 3-letter word. I love this one. It looks like there's a line of dantana going somewhere. So this is nai akar, no. Dantan nai akar, dantan no. Hopefully you remember what dantan no means. That's this letter. And this word is na, meaning no. Let's go back here. This word means various or diverse. When there's many and manifold. So how do you read it? Nanan. Nanan. So if you want to say various things, nanan jinish, various types, nanan dharoner, nanan is the word. It sounds so cute as well, but that means various and many. So this is what I had in mind. I have one more word in mind. Let me write it down. Okay. Remember this word? Ni. Let's flip it. E. Ni. Ini. This is also a valid word. It's not just I flipped it for fun. Also for fun, but ini is a valid word. This means like he or she, but specifically it means when he or she is older than you or higher than you in some way. So this is the respectful version of saying he or she. So in Bangla, there's no distinction of gender. So he or she, it's the same thing. We just mean like this person. There's no he or she. And when you say ini, it means that they're in your close vicinity. So they're like over here. This person over here. That's ini. If they're at a distance, not over here, then the word will change. But it's the respectful way to refer to this person over here, he or she. Ini. That's all the words I had for today in mind, and I had a good time. Look at how many words we have today. Just see. Wow. This is the last one here. And these are all the words we did today. Let me read them. Dat, na, noi, nai, ni, nak, dan, dana, din, tin, nik, ani, nati, nanan, ini, kan, naki. Those are all the words for today. It will be really good if you can read them all and write them by yourself, especially using that square visualization that I showed you earlier. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next part. Bye. Namaskar.